Get this done. Hey, peace and love, peace and love. What's up, family? This is Chief Kalinago. Let me just make sure that sound is good. Bear with me. I think we got sound, but I'm just trying to get into the live chat. Bear with me here for a second, my brothers and sisters. While we do this, I got my brother here with me, brother Docman from Docman X TV. Of you who don't know Docman, go over to his channel. I'll have him put his channel in the description. I'll have him comment in the link. Go and subscribe. Subscription's up, all right, because the brother is dropping a lot of powerful information. Oh, is today Saturday?
Saturday.
Oh yeah, because you know I don't really pay attention to days like that, but today is Saturday or Saturn Day. So peace to each and every one of you that's tuning in right now. We are doing this, man. We are about to do this. I'm gonna give some more people some time to tune in. I know people may be getting ready for the parties right now, but guess what, man? We ain't got time for that because it's time to build. Turn up at a later date, but right now it is time for the American Aborigines to build. You feel me?
Exactly.
So we know that Aborigines all over the world, because one of the things that they didn't tell us was they told us about the Atlantic slave trade, which spoke of coming here to the Americas. But what they wrote out of history was the fact that the first slave trade, Indian slave trade, they traded our people all over the world. Okay, why they had to end up getting Africans and bring them here is because our people was fighting, rather die than be slaves. You know, another set of people that was a little bit more subservient. Why they ended up going to the African continent. But our story, our history is being told all over the world. Just look for the feathers. That's the identifier. I don't hear anything. Guys, hear me, please? And if you could, while the live is going on, could you share it on your other platforms, your Facebook? You know, let people know what's going on. Like button. You know, I mean, let's do this. Show some love. Show some love. You could hear me, please. Oh, so we good. Yeah, so we good. We good. We good. All right, so let us get into this, family. A couple of weeks ago, I was thinking of doing a live video, or just a video period, you know, talking about the American Aborigines in England. You know, coincidentally, but of course I don't believe in coincidences, but you know, my brother Docman said that he wanted to do a video on England as well. Of that, I've been talking and I've been getting a lot of emails and a lot of not calls per se, but emails, you know, from American Aborigines that are in England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and Canada. And it seems that the American Aborigines are facing the same perils as the American Aborigines here in the United States. You know, they still have the same construct of calling American Aborigines black. So we are not just dealing with it here in the Americas, but our brothers and sisters are dealing with it in England, Wales, and even Canada. Because you see, the status quo is Indians are only people that look like the cowboy movies. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. The original people were of a darker hue. So Is it a coincidence that all the American Aborigines are going through the same thing that we are going through right here? And don't get me wrong, I am not saying that they're not discriminating against our cousins on the African continent. I'm not saying that. The discrimination, the genocide that's been imposed on the American Aborigine is like no other. And the reason why I could say that and I could attest to that is because the African continent, Africans have always been Africans to a certain extent in terms of, generally speaking, the continent, in terms of the independent countries. Okay? Now, US in the United States, we rarely hear people say, well, you know what? I am a Chicagoan, or I'm a New Yorker, or I'm a Bostonian, you know? Do to say I'm a Nigerian, you know, a Ghanaian, you know, Senegalese. Senegalese? That's what they. No, but what do the people call it? Senegalese, right? Yeah, Senegalese, etc., etc. Those are independent countries, which is the same for here. Every state is an independent country with their own supposed constitution. So why aren't we calling ourselves of what the state is called? So again, you see the difference. The point I'm trying to make is Africans have always been Africans. The American Aborigine, we are the only ethnic group or race, not even ethnic group, because we are more than an ethnic group. We are a race. The American race is a race of people different from any other race. Speak that way, people may say, well, hey, Chief, you know what? There's only one race. Kind of not agree with that. Well, let's look into nature. Aren't there trees? Can you tell me that all trees are the same? But they're all called trees, aren't they? All animals are the same. I mean, a dog don't look like a donkey to me. What I'm trying to make is this. Even if we have the human race to generalize people, this is of people. And that is a fact. So the truth of the matter is the American Aborigine, we are a separate race. And then our people, and when I say our people, the American Aborigines, we are going through the same thing, and people are reaching out. The emails are coming. I have sisters hitting me up from England. Their children are being stolen. Their children are being taken. They are being raped just because they are American Aborigines. Not being treated as people. Every time they step up and they say, well, you know what? I am not your citizen. I am an American Aborigine. That goes up. They are being followed. Okay, they are being pulled into alleys. They are being raped. Their children are being taken away. They are doing all these experiments on them, taking their hair, literally pulling it out of their head. Why is that happening to the American Aborigine? Say, but I'm gonna, give the, the platform to my brother Docman, who's right here with me, and any input that he have to say on that so far.
Yeah, like she said, we've been getting a lot of inquiries with our brothers and sisters that's in the UK that wants to also know lineage or their ancestry. A lot of folks from the Caribbean and West Indies that travels abroad to the places that Chief mentioned. These folks has been for 20, 30 years now. That has settled down there for a long time and have children there. Your children, descendants of American, so they are American Aborigine. You are an American Aborigine. So as far as you wanting to know your identity, those of you whom are from the Caribbean or what we call the West Indies in the UK, you are an American Aborigine, and so are your children. Aborigine, especially if they came from the womb of an American Aborigine woman. So, like Chief was saying, it's a lot of stuff that is going on against our people worldwide. It's not just within our own backyard. It's on other land masses as well. Like for example, let's get to the point with this. Again, this is not to seem like I am bashing on the nation or ethnic group of people. This is just what's in our faces today and literally what is going on. Also state for my disclaimer that anything that I speak of, any message that I am speaking of on American Aborigine people and those of who are trying to know their identity as an American Aborigine, you citizens of the United States or United States citizens, that is not what we are doing. Instead, our people are the most people throughout the world. I'm not saying that other folks or other ethnic groups are not mistreated, but we are the most mistreated due to the fact that a massive case of paper genocide has been committed upon us, and not only paper genocide itself on its own. Um, we go and we travel other countries, other nations, and at the end of the day, we don't identify with none of those things, the nations, because we are not them, they are not us, and when we come back home, we are lost. Agent groups and teach you that you come from the world, other side of the world, don't even identify with you. There is something special about our people, why our people are also the most hunted and also and kidnapped throughout the world. With that, I yield, and I'm gonna let Chief get into it.
I appreciate your input, brother. Appreciate that. And so this is not just about complaining, it's a solution. Okay. How do we, the American Aborigines, do we come together as a whole where we start this work? Because we are the progenitors of civilization. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You see, everything was told in reverse. Potential evidence and proof, facts. Because you see, it's one thing to talk about theories, as I used to, because I was growing into myself. But I have come into the knowledge of self, who I am, who my ancestors are and were, because ancestors, that means they still are my ancestors, because there's no such thing as death. Heir to the heir to the heir. So with that being said, we have to look at solutions, ways that we could trace our lineage, our ancestry, as you could go. But keep in mind that, the vital records may not tell you specifically what tribe you came from. You see, all those records, for the most part. So we may have to talk to elders in the families, okay, as far back as we could go, to see if they could associate us with a tribe a little later. But let us talk about how we're going to come together globally. All right. Yes, as indigenous people, but more so, the world is waiting for the American Aborigine to wake up, because they know who we are. Who we are. They're looking at it. Talking about New York, Manhattan. It has always been the trading center of the world. There is nothing new under the sun. Villages and cities already in Manhattan. The Seneca village, that already existed. Huge villages and cities. Fulton Street in Brooklyn, where everybody is doing business and commerce right now from every part of the world. Guess what? Even before the Caucasians came here, all those things already existed. Coincidence that the United States, or so-called America, is called the melting pot. every other ethnic group in the world could have came to a platform where we could trade and barter. It was the so-called melting pot, the deem the new world. And that is our land. That is our country. It's our birthright. We are the natural stewards of this land. So when sisters and brothers are reaching out, especially sisters, they have 3, 4 children, or even one child, and their children or their child is or are being taken away. They can't see them. Okay. And then they have protocols against who are stating that they are Aborigines, and they are preventing them from going to the higher courts to plead their case. Stalk them, follow them, pulling them in alleys and raping them. Are we just going to allow our women to get abused around the world? It is power in unity. What I say this, I'm saying that let us put our differences aside. Yes, I have done videos on Christianity, on Islam. I have done videos on Judaism, speaking the truth that, oh, well, the truth. It still may be the truth in terms of people worshiping deities when they actually looked to nature and the universe. He or she say, right? The point I'm trying to make is this. If anybody look at my journey, I no longer stress on religion anymore. I have a new outlook in life. Even if I know people from antiquity or in antiquity, nature always look to the universe, and it changed. It changed. Governments change it. Bureaucrats, politicians, people that want to control people's lives, they took spirituality away from them and give them religion. Fine. But trying to take people's religion nowadays is really trying to take the foundation of who they believe they are. Caught up in spreading too much, talking about religion no more. It's uniting us right now. That is my main focus. So if you believe in Jesus, if you believe in Buddha, if you believe in Zeus, if you believe in Allah, I don't care what you believe in. And this is anything that you believe in that makes you a better people. Somebody, then worship and serve who you want to worship. Okay, let us not let those things divide us right now. What is the common problem? What is the common enemy? And what is the solution? The common problem is not because your skin is black. No, you are identifying yourself as being black. One of the problems. Because it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in England or any one of those places in the description, US, once you are black, you are dead within law. Because guess what? All the same laws, right, from the crown. From the crown. So they are still using that British system, so to speak. People, governments, they are all in bed together. They are pretending like they're enemies. President don't like this prime minister. Oh, they're beefing. No, they have the same system. Ecclesiastic system where they are governing people's lives. So at the end of the day, the system is still the same. Still the same. It's going to yield the same results in terms of oppression and genocide. Of that genocide, the American Aborigines, because there is something about us that we don't know, that they know. Take time to really dig into that and ask ourselves these internal questions. What is it about me, an American Aborigine, something else? Why are they trying to take me outside of myself? What is it so special about me? And a lot of sisters are reaching out and saying, Chief, and I am not calling names because I'm attacking. I'm saying what was a message that was delivered to me. So this is not my truth, but it was told to me that there are a lot of Umar Johnson supporters in England that are standing up and getting ready to fight against American Aborigines. Look at the damage that the miseducation of the people is doing, okay? Because the brother is going around the world teaching our people that they are black and that they're from Africa, when American Aborigines are not black and we are not from Africa. Then you have his loyal followers, okay? They are out now to fight the American Aborigines because they say they are not black and they're not from Africa. Now, this is not an attack on the brother. I'm just telling you what was conveyed to me. A lot of sisters are experiencing, and they feel so alone. They're afraid to come out of their home. Sometimes they are in their house for 6-7 days because they can't go out. Different. So how are we going to combat that? What are we going to do as the American Aborigines that's around the world going through this thing? My brother got anything to add? You could go ahead and speak on a little bit of that before I continue.
All right. What we must realize and what we must realize and understand is this: everything that is going on within our community and what we call the pro-black community, something that has been orchestrated to somehow have these two communities come at a clash without organization. We, like Chief just said, we must have organization and some form of unity amongst each other. Whether we want to take the knowledge of who we are or not, that is your right to want to know truth or not, or just want to be ignorant and say, I'm not going to look into nothing that you're saying, nothing, and sit there and talk about you're going to fight and raise up in arms your fists and your weapons against your fellow brother and sister of one man. That was misleading you, to be honest. The fight that is going on against our people, it is happening on a mass scale due to the fact that our people can't just simply on a common goal. We don't have to agree on everything, but we know that we are being exterminated wide. We know that our waters are being poisoned, our air is being poisoned, we are being kicked out of our homes, we are the most targeted folks, children are being genocide, are being kidnapped, we're being organ harvested, we know that our lands are being taken away from us, things, and are looking to go up in arms, American Aborigines, because you gotta be out your mind. That's crazy talk. That's craziness. You can't go up in arms against the higher you, but you want to go and take out that anger that's also being you or the next person that is fighting, really putting in the real fight. People know who they are and fighting to secure back your identity in this society.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And I have a question to ask you guys, because for me, I always like to explain things so that a little child could really get and comprehend exactly what I'm speaking of. So here's an analogy, right? Somebody was a Christian and somebody was Muslim, a Jew, and somebody was a Protestant, somebody was a Jehovah Witness. And you have, let's just say, because you have nearly over, how many thousands and thousands of different religions, right? But let's just say that at least 10 different sects or religious people, they were on a boat and they were in the midst of the ocean, right? Or let's just say, a ship. We don't want to say a boat because that might be a little small, but let's just say, let's keep it a boat. On a boat, and let's just say it's about 10 of them. Different religion. They all believe in different gods. And they have always been at odds with each other. Oh, my God is better than yours. Oh, my God is real. Oh no, yours is fake. I am not coming to your church. I'm not doing that, right? To be on that boat, that one time together, and then all of a sudden, a few holes in the boat, about to sink, about to die. Do you think these people are going to sit around and ask which God is better? Do you think they're going to say, well, I'm not going to block that hole because you are a Christian, or you are a Jehovah's Witness, or you are an Arab? Or do you think that's going to happen? Forget the differences, their shirts, and block the hole so that they could get to shore and save themselves. Question, but I think it's the latter. Get into that mindset. Let us forget our differences for once. Okay? Yes, I know Moors say they are Aborigines of the American. We know they are not. But you know what? They're here together with the Moors. Why can't we get together with the Hebrew Israelites, even if we know Hebrew is a language? Israelites are not from Africa here, so they were miseducated as well, because there was a band of indigenous Aborigines in Ohio that did call themselves Israelites, educated, thinking that they came from a far land. Now let us speak about the Bible real quick. For me, it said that the Israelites, right, were taken from a far land and brought into our land. How can you call yourself an Aborigine if your creator telling you came from another land? What you were taught, that's not true. The band of Israelites, that or the people who call themselves Israelites, were already here in the Ohio region. The question is, why can't we come together on roof and respect each other's culture, respect each other's concept of what we call God, and say, listen, we are drowning, holes in it. And if we don't forget our differences, we are all going to die. Why can't we do that? And after we take care of the threat, then we could come together and work out our differences. It may seem a little harder than it seems. The effort. Who's going to take the initiative? Well, because family, it's time. We have sisters in Canada, children, huh? Because they are saying they're American Aborigines, and they're telling them, no, you are not an Aborigine because you are too black. We have our people going through this. All this call is really, again, call to action. I am tired of people talking, but nobody's doing. The call to action. Okay, I'm gonna put emails in the link below, and our brothers and sisters that are actually from those places, send us an email. Let us do what we got to do, because don't always remember the supreme law of the land, and the supreme law of the land is what stands. This local government and this municipal governments acting when it's actually not law but legalese, to step up and step above the legalese and step into law. So why don't we come together and let them know in England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, Canada, wherever you at, that you have brothers and sisters right here on the mainland. Support you. I will do a petition. I will get the letters written and everyone sign it and send it to those governments and let them know that's our people and we know what we are doing to them, and we are going to bring it to the international courts. One thing to just talk about it and complain. One thing you have to remember is that the rain doesn't fall on one man's house. I'm saying that because whatever affects our brothers and sisters, it affects us as well. Because we are all here from our ancestors. We are all here. We came here from those who came before us. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of us are more connected than we know. Me, for instance, right? I have a mother, a father, she got a mother. That's already 4 generations back. Then you have 16, then you have 32 across the world. Because I say I'm not from Africa, it doesn't mean I doesn't have African ancestry. That's not what it means. Mixed with each other. When we traded goods, we didn't just trade goods, we traded genetics as well. And that's a fact. Because when the men came into our land or we went into theirs, we didn't take our women with us. And with them, at least not 95% of the times. So wherever men went, they wanted wives. So that means our genetics were trading as well. And a woman on this planet, maybe it might exist. I don't know. And a woman on this planet to tell me that they don't have any African in them, that would be absurd. Not stating that I don't have African ancestry, because when I speak, people think, oh, well, oh, what's wrong with Africa? I'm not saying anything is wrong with Africa. I am not an African with American blood, with some African ancestry, maybe European ancestry as well. The original Europeans ancestry, the original ones as well, because we have always traded with each other, buy maize and corn. And no, you see a beautiful, you know how beautiful our American Aborigine women are? Man, listen, I could have been a baboon and I came into the Americas. I would want me an American Aborigine woman. So the truth of the matter is we have traded amongst ourselves, even genetically. So the point of the matter is it is time for us to stand up as a whole, all the indigenous people of the world, not just the American Aborigines. American Aborigines, because that's my home. That is my family. That's my immediate family first. So that's why I always stress, because the world is always waiting on us. So family, it is time. It is time. It's a call to action. How are we going to do this? Okay, you guys got the emails. Send the emails. Send suggestions. Okay, if we're willing to do a petition, let us get that petition to go viral, and let's send it to the Canadian government. Let's send it to the England or the British government. Let's send it to Wales. Let's send it to Ireland. Let's send it to Scotland. Let them know that we are not going to stand by and have them continue the genocide of the American Aborigine. I am willing to take the action. I am willing to put myself to make this thing happen. Do you know the true definition of I am my brother and sister's keeper? Are we just talking about it, or are we going to be about it? Fight each other, or are we going to continue to come together and common threat that we are facing? I'm just saying, what are we going to do? Because our people are crying out. Our people are reaching out. Emails from England. I'm getting countless complaints from Canada. I don't live there. I can't. So I need my people, I need our people to come together. All right. So we could make this happen. We're going to talk about Native Americans and American Indian and the difference with Aborigines in another video. I really don't want to go off track. To stay on focus. This is about reaching out to our brothers and sisters who are crying out for help. Help them. The natives got their own problems already. I'm just keeping it real. This video is about what are we going to do? It's a call to action to listen. I'm not just here talking because I like being heard. Make sure that this gets done. So go ahead, brother.
You know what the problem is too? That what are we gonna do also same for some? That what are we gonna do saying also for some is also a problem. It bothers me. Our people got so used to asking, but what are we gonna do? That is their saying as their excuse for why a lot of them are sat around and let the situation got so bad. It's at the point of no return for a lot of them. something they're going to have to toughen up and deal with. But it's like if you're walking down the street and you have a person that consists, you know what you got to do for that person to stop bullying you, right? You have many different options. Stick with it, 2, 3, even all the options to leave you alone. But if you don't pick none or you don't choose no option, and all you do is just sit around and ask, what are we going to do? Because you know you've given up. That what are we going to do on saying of folks who have given up, folks who have lost hope and don't believe that there isn't any way out of this system. Well, there is a way out of this system. Let's realize and understand this system is a voluntary system. You have to volunteer to be in this system, do what it's doing to you. And it's not more say the system, but the folks who control this system today are the ones who are doing that to you. So when you go from the question of what do we do to saying to yourself, let me sit down and think of a solution. And something then within my community that can also create or generate solutions that are at hand. Majority of the problems that's hitting our people is because of identify underneath statuses that don't belong to us. Corporation. And once you continue to identify that belongs to a corporation, then you are saying that you are property of said corporation. And it's like if I owned a store and my shelves are too packed and I have to do inventory, at some point I'm going to have to lessen the shelf load. So when you see our people being also shot dead in the streets by what you call police officers, or you see our people have these fake leaders that lead you the prison doors, lead you down the barrel of an officer's gun, and just lead you into oblivion. Look, man, what I'm saying is this: history of this land. You have to learn the history of this system which you live in. You have to stop letting people come to you and tell you to identify as something all the way on the other side of the world, when where you are living at, there is evidence consistently every single day in your face that you are not African American or Moorish American or a Moor. The phenotype is literally a tone, a shade, a color. Action. That is a Moor. Has nothing to do with nationality. Nothing at all. But again, a lot of our people are so caught up with being a follower, then being the leader. They will say, then you're bashing my master teacher. You're doing this and that, and then you won't go and do the proper research of what you need to do to get up out of the predicament that you are in. You understand? There's a lot of hands in this melting pot, and there's a lot of elements at play here. You know what's going on. A lot of y'all you don't know until you do extensive research about the history of this land, of this hemisphere, and us, the people in it. We're going to get up out of this predicament of which we are in, and that question of what are we going to do? Solutions instead of questions. Instead of, stop asking that and sit your butt down and think of a solution. Smart enough to do that, you're more than smart enough to do that. If you weren't smart, if you weren't geniuses, they would have spent all these time to dummy down your education system, to poison your food, to spray chemtrails in your skies, to make sure that your kids come out with mental disabilities and stuff like that. They fear your intellect. When I say they, I'm talking about it's multiple different ethnic groups, even those that look like you and me. Eastern side of the world fear our intellect here on the Western Hemisphere.
That input, I appreciate that input, brother. All right. So here's another again, just me. Please forgive me because I always have all these, analogies. You know what I'm saying? Right? If we cannot tackle everyone at the same time, right? Here's something. I remember when I was growing up, I got into a couple fights. Hey, I'm just gonna keep it real. Some of it I initiated, but it wasn't self-defense. But the point I'm gonna make here is this: specific time that I got into a fight, and it was like about five other guys fighting me by myself. For a fact that I wasn't able at that point, at least that's what I was telling myself. I wasn't able to fight five guys at once. That came to my head. The thought came to my head and said, you know what? If I could just hold on to one, just one, all I need is one. I don't need to hold on to five of them. Just hold on to that one and bite his ear or bite his nose off. That he would scream so hard that the rest would run. And guess what? You where I end up holding, but I held a place where men don't like to be held. Okay, you know what? Chief was fighting like a little girl, but I grab and I hold on to his testicles. He's so hard, and he was screaming so much that the other four of them ran. You know why? Because I didn't want to be bullied. That was number one. Number two, I didn't want to be beat. Number three, it was 5 against 1, and that was unfair. So I had to make sure that I held on to one of them. And I had to make sure that he learned the price and make sure that the rest knew the pain that would come if I was able to hold another one. The point I'm trying to make is this. We have all these different entities. Let us tackle them one at a time. Because when we spread ourselves so thin, it seems like there is so much of us in number. But if we just one at a time, we let them know we're going to make you feel the pain. We're going to let you know that we are here and we're not going to back down. We'll send a message to the rest. I am tired of the American Aborigines being taken advantage of. I am tired of our women being taken advantage of. I am tired of our children walking into the streets. Do you know how many brothers, African American and Black brothers who are actually Aborigines, are in jail for 10, 15 years because they rode a bike on a sidewalk? And Asians, single day. But if a so-called Black man do it, he goes to jail for 6, 7, 8 months to a year sometimes for riding a bike. Before you invaders came into our land, we did what we wanted to do. At what point are we going to say enough is enough? When are you going to say I'm tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired? You know why? It's because you are still comfortable with what they are giving you. You are still comfortable with the privileges. You are still comfortable with going punching that clock and saying yes sir and yes ma'am. Now don't get me wrong. Cross as me bashing people with jobs. No, it's okay to have your job because obviously, right? Because at the end of this video, I'm going to ask you to donate. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite. The point of the matter I'm going to make is this. At what point are we going to say enough is enough? Turn the tables around where we could provide the jobs instead of we seeking the jobs. How are we going to do that? So we have to come together again, get these petitions. I don't care if it's one country at a time we have to go after. Let them know that every American Aborigine on that land, they are not alone. And we here in the Americas, especially in the United States, okay, a country, a construct that was created on our land, we are not going to stand for it. We have their backs. Let us stop talking about it. Let us stop doing what they do in the conscious community. Talk. Let us start doing. So I want to stay on message here. Okay? This is what we're going to do for our brothers in England. What are we going to do for our brothers and sisters in Canada, our sisters in England, Liverpool? That is the question.
What are we gonna do for all the folks that they kidnapped from the Americas and brought over there to Africa down in the Middle East? What are we gonna do? You see, we spend all this time fighting each other. You understand? We have all the answers when it comes to trolling each other. When it comes to Googling and private investigating each other to find out someone's whereabouts or who they hang with and want to get the dirt and all these folks, right? When it comes to studying who you are here, you don't know what to do. But when it comes to bashing someone, throwing someone's name in the mud, you know what to do. When it comes to finding out who's organ harvesting you, kidnapping you and your children, you don't know what to do. It's what do we do? We speak of not being in charge of certain resources. A lot of us spend our money back into the same pockets of the same people who oppress us, to the same people who like this. We have UN troops that supposedly, right, supposed to go into Chicago. Whose money you think is going to pay for that? Your government is going to pay for that. Your tax money is going to pay for that. Why is that important that your tax money is going to pay for? Because you're going to pay for your own invasion. You're going to pay for your own invasion. Now, why do I say that? It has to do with identity. Where is New Era Chicago? Where is New Era Detroit? Where are all these people to come together and tell you, well, Black Lives Matter, right? Americans, where's the RBG community? Where's your Pan-Africanists? How are they going to stop what seems to be that it's going to happen? How are they going to show you how to protect yourself from these type of things if or when they do happen? They can't. You know why? Because they know for a fact that everything that they've been teaching you about identity is bullcrap, and it has a lot to play with what is about to go down. Proper identity, proper ancestry. You identify as Black, African, American. Again, you are identifying as property of a U.S. corporation. And these supposed UN troops come on American soil, right? By the way of the United States corporation, they are coming for their corporate property. Who is their corporate property? Those who, again, identify as Black, colored, Negro, African American, and citizen. We talk about Black Lives Matter and all these things. It doesn't matter when it comes to what's about to go down. They're not coming to round up these. You are the first line that they're going for. Because you are the booty property, which you see them slowly but surely, not even slowly, they put it in your face. Look how much videos I put out about the organ harvesting and the kidnappings of our people. Even folks in Jamaica, you know that they were going into the hospitals back into the 70s and the 80s, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and kidnapping our children and sending them to Africa. That's a fact. And I dare anyone to argue with me about that. That is a fact. Doctors to tell you that your baby was stillborn and switching babies, live ones with dead ones, and they were going to Africa. Really wanted you or cared about you that much, why is Africa kidnapping your children? No, so when you say kidnapping our children, Caucasian face, a Middle Eastern face, these are the same dark-skinned Africans that's on the island now. I'm talking about. They we're paying for the kidnapping of your children to send them back to their villages and stuff over there to raise them as Africans. It gives them a hold on your land. All right. Now, resources. How much money do the so-called black populace spend a year economy into this system that is being used to oppress them? You spend over $470 trillion almost a year. On a good year, over 1.7 to 1.9 trillion a year. And you speak of, we don't have anything. We don't have no resources. We don't have none of that. That's because you spend back the same money back into the pockets again of the folks who are oppressing you. What do you think is going to happen?
But at the end of the day, though, if you don't mind me interjecting, I mean, so-called black people and African Americans, are going to continue to be property. So right now, you see, we have to focus on the ones that know. You see, it's the ones that know that have to set the example. We cannot look forward to the so-called black people, because they are lost. We can't afford to look at people for answers that are asleep. I am not aware of what's happening around me. How are you going to tell me, hey, chief, you know what? There's a fire outside. I'm asleep. I cannot do anything. We cannot speak on the black people and the African Americans, because for one, they don't see it as a problem. They don't see taking their every dollar and giving it to their oppressor, every dollar and giving it to the Arab on the corner. They don't see taking their every dollar and going to a Chinese or Asian nail salon. They don't see a problem with that. So at the end of the day, guess what? Our words are going to fall on deaf ears. We are talking right now to those of us who know, or at least those of us who actually got out of the bed, wide awake, but we're still wiping our eyes. We're still trying to make sense out of things. Instead, everybody is not going to get it at the same moment. It's like when people are asleep and all of a sudden you turn on the light. Those are very dangerous people, because their eyes haven't been adjusted to the light. I'm tired. Literally, I'm in a coma and I'm asleep, and you just come and turn on a bright light. Man, I'm going to curse you out, because my eyes haven't adjusted. You didn't give me time to wake up, turn in the bed, stretch, yawn. These black people and African Americans, they are still in the bed. They are dangerous people. So let us focus on those who at least to who they truly are. They have a knowledge of who they are. Those who feel alone in their family. You know what, Chief? I'm the only one in my house who gets it. Nobody else is getting it. The likes, frequency, we need to reach out to and put things together, because our people, they will only do what we do. Say. So if we could show them that these things work, they'll follow. And that's what we have to keep on doing. Keep on doing. We have to do. Let us stop talking. Just talking, but I'm just saying the people in general. We have to stop talking, and we have to reach out to those who know that we are the American Aborigines, those who know that we are the American Indians, because we're on the same frequency. How many people here that's on this chat right now in the streets with their feathers on? Man, listen, I don't care if I have to go outside the door. I don't leave my house without my feathers, because it is so much a part of me right now, because I know in me. Anywhere I go, I want these people to know that I am making a presence. If I'm in the streets with so-called 200, let's just say there's 200 people in a crowd because they are so-called black. How is the so-called cops to identify me differently from these 200 so-called black people if I am not wearing my attire? I have my feathers every single day. So when the time comes to round up the 199 black and so-called African Americans, they will say, you, American Indian, get out of here. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Step. Identify the problem. What is the problem? Us. We are not stepping up and showing how many of us that's in the streets. How many of them know that they are awake? Except when they go on YouTube videos, they hear people talking about it. I don't see them with their feathers in the streets. Oh man, Chief, you're representing. You damn right. Because I'm here to represent my ancestors. Okay? And this is more than just a physical thing. It's about its spirit. First, because our ancestors are within the mental construct or the spiritual realm. Okay? Asking us to connect to us. But we are so focused on the physical. We are so focused on the physical, we cannot hear them because we are not balanced to talk to our ancestors. Okay, we are not doing that. Well, I am, but a lot of people aren't. We'll go to the GoFundMe and donate to support what we are doing. See, the thing is, I hear people talk, but how many people do? People think when you donate, you have to give $2,000. No, sometimes it's only $5. That makes a difference because it helps in what we are doing. So I'm not going to turn that into money. I'm just turning it into how are we supporting each other and how are we building? Okay, I need to see American Indians in the streets walking with their feathers, walking with their pieces, their clothes that they make. Know that we are still here. We never left. They cannot get rid of us. Ancestors always knew that. The land don't belong to us. We didn't put a claim because the land owned us. It called us here from the spiritual realm. It called the American Aborigine to this side of the world and said that this is your home. And so therefore so to reciprocate, we own the land and we have to treat it our home. Love our mother. Our mother is the American continent. Africa is our auntie. And yes, we honor and respect our aunties. The word says, honor your mother and father so that your days will be longer. And unless we honor it, unless we stop the American continent, unless we stop disowning the American continent, then she's not going to treat us with respect. Not going to treat us with respect. A lot of our culture was taken. Yes, a lot of the immediate tribes that we came from was lost. But guess what? Different tribes and different families, we were always one people. That's why it says in the Constitution that our ancestors wrote and formed, we the people, right in the preamble. We ordained. That means we brought it to life. So at the ending of the day, I am asking you to stop talking. Actions, mouth is. Okay? Put your action where your mouth is. Go ahead on your Facebook page. Go ahead on your Instagram page and let the world know I am an American Aborigine. Do videos. That is the truth. More of us need to step to these governments and let them know that the American Aborigines, we are here and we demand respect in our home. Fear doesn't exist. It is false evidence appearing real. It is not real. Remember, the physical body is not you. It's just a transportation. If I have my car, my house, ran into my car, and I'm inside my house, let me ask you a question. Did I get hurt? Did it touch me? It a flotation, not the driver of the car, because I wasn't in the car. Because let us not be afraid of these people. They are more afraid of us than we should be afraid of them. They are the ones who are afraid. What you realize about bullies is this, okay? Bullies only bully people because they are insecure. Only bully people because they are afraid, because they have been bullied themselves. And that's survival for them. It's a mechanism of self-defense. I'm afraid somebody bully me again. So you know what? I want to become the bully. These people, they're not superior. I hear people talking about this supremacist. They're not supreme, at least not over me. Best in that. Okay?
What what we have to realize and understand is this, right? Chief mentioned that about a fight, that fights have no rules, right? But we know even boxers are strategic in their point of attack and defense. Okay, they're all willy-nilly without no plan and think you're just going to knock someone out, especially a pro that's probably been doing it for like over 30 years, doing this for over 500 years. You understand? So you're going to have to be strategic. It's like, this is why I mention the pro-black community so much. I want you guys to really think, right? What you call at odds with someone. You see how these gun clubs, these so-called black gun clubs, be all up on social media, on the news, showing their armory, their weapons. What kind of person does that if they're really at war with someone? Why would you show your enemy your hand? That's not strategic. That's stupid. Do you understand? That's dumb. And then they're the same ones that's telling you, march with me, brother. Black lives matter. While they making you on the next target or the next mortar that's about to happen. Their cause and their movement because they know it's bull and what it is that they're doing. You understand? We are playing a game of chess. And these folks are coming at you from all sides of the chessboard. But when they first come at you, they don't first come at you from a violent standpoint. And that's one thing when you look back within the history, that is one thing that you will notice, realize, and understand. When they first came, they came as a so-called friend. They learned the layout of the land. They learned the personality of the people. They learned the strength and weakness of the people. And then they implemented their point of attack. About these people, a lot of y'all think y'all know because y'all follow so-called Pan-African groups and so-called master teachers that's been leading y'all down the wrong road, period. Okay? This is where now you would have to sit back and start doing your own digging, your own research, and see exactly what it is that's in front of you. Right? But you have to be strategic on how you come at you understand? So knowledge is power. And the knowledge that you know, it is the power that you need. You understand? When you learn about more about the system, more about the history of this land, the history of this people, the history of your people, which is us. We are you, you are us. We are the American Aborigines and the daughters of the Tamohacan people, who are the fathers of the Olmec. The Olmecs are the fathers and the mothers of the Mayan sons, and so on and so on and so. And you have us, the American Aborigines, aka American Indians, indigenous ones of the Americas, and what you will call the West Indies or the Caribbean, which is the Americas. Do you understand? We are the autochtons, the autochthonous ones. Whatever words we are looking to use, we are indigenous stated here. This is the bloodline from the Tamohacan coming all the way down, which we have flowing through our veins, and it is the oldest bloodline of people to exist on this planet. And we come from a bloodline of geniuses and all right, that the world runs on everything.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And I second that, the sentiments. A question was asked, can we unite with, the pro-black? That's a very, you know what? I'll keep it real with you. That's a kind of like a loaded question. I'll tell you why, because it could be dangerous. You see, a lot of those people are so lost that even they themselves are enemies to themselves. Okay. And a lot of them have been already infiltrated.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say yes, I'm not going to say no. The question is, how do we filter the ones that's truly wanting to liberate themselves, but they're just confused as to who they are? For me, right now, I would think that American Aborigines that needs to come together our platform. You have a basket full of apples, and you have, let's just say, you have 12 apples in that basket, right? And you happen to take another 4 bad apples and throw it in the basket with the 12 good ones. Guess what? Not a few days, you might end up having a basket full of bad apples. What I'm saying here is this. For me personally, I don't want to take a chance, okay, to people, to the progress that we have made thus far. I don't want to take a chance with them, okay, because they might be the ones that we in one house all asleep. One of them is over your head with a knife because they have a different mindset, okay? They were bought, so I don't want to take that chance. But however, if there's a possibility for us to come together and work to know that we have one oppressor, then I am all for that. Is a screening process. You know what I mean? So family, in essence, on point to our ancestors. Okay, I don't know what higher power you believe in. To me, that's your thing. But what I do know for a fact is this: my mother came before me. Before me, her mother and father came before her. His mother and father came before him, and vice versa, going back into time immemorial. Certain, even if I don't know that any other savior will come to save us, I know that our ancestors connected to, they came before us and they will come and save us. Is this? Let us start our ancestors. If you want to go down on your knees and pray to anybody tonight and pray to your ancestors, ask them to deliver us from these oppressors. The strength. Ask them to give us the guidance. Ask them to give us the answers. The deity, the God, the energy that our people have been praying to, and it hasn't worked for 500 years. Time you do anything over and over and over again, expecting a different result, sanity. That's why they think half of y'all are crazy. Family, it is time to call on our ancestors. I wish I could go to Haiti and learn some voodoo, learn some obia. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. But if you look at the speaking in tongues and what they do, they fall on the floor and they all these convulsions. Voodoo. So how comes when they do it in religion? Oh, well, you know what? Because it's okay because I'm doing it for God. Your ancestors and bring the spirits of your ancestors down. All of a sudden, it's bad, it's evil. You see, we got to get away from the construct of what we were taught. Than these people, weapons they have physically, but we are stronger than them spiritually. And that's why they had to attack our spirit and give us religion. Us weak. That's why it says weak shall inherit the earth, didn't they? Well, guess what? They told it to you in reverse. The meek got the earth. So let us tap into our spirituality. Let us start pouring libations, burning sage and getting rid of these negative energies even in our home. Let us unite. If we have family members that don't see this, that don't want us, that don't want to unite, let us, the American Aborigines, find ways where we could all come together. Okay? Because when the world doing, the world is seeing them doing it to Black African American people. So the world is not going to react because those people don't exist. They are property. So why would the international world come on the behalf or rescue of property, people that don't exist? They are legal persons. See that the American Aborigine is standing up, and these people are killing us in, or not kill, but murdering us in the streets, because there's a difference between murder and kill. Murdering American Aborigines in the streets. Guess what? Things will change, because now they are not dating their assets. You see, that's what they are doing with so-called Black people, so-called African Americans. They are assets, they are investments. Get them in the streets if they become a threat or a bad debt, so to speak. When it's an American Aborigine, aka American Indian, that's a whole different story. Back into our ancient ways. Okay? Let us get back into burning candles and getting this so-called spells they taught us. Let us reverse it on them. But spiritually, you know why? Because we manifested them from the spirit. So we got the answers. But we going outside of ourselves looking for the answer. I would like to say that, reverting to the topic of the video, England, Wales, and Canada, we are American Aborigines of the Americans, of the Americas, and we are asking you, let our people go, because they are not alone. We on the American continent, South, Central, and North America, we are one. We have one mother, and it doesn't matter where our people are, they are still us. You to let our people go. Give them the respect that they deserve. They have rights. They're not your property. Allow them to be their ancestors were, men and women. And we're not going to stand around and allow you guys to abuse our people. And I am asking all our ancestors, our enemies, to drop to our knees now. American Aborigine right now to stand up, and y'all can't do nothing about it. Okay? We are not afraid of you. More will come. You ever try to take a few ants out? Guess what? The more you kill one, the more they will come. The more you kill one, the more they will come. Well, guess what? That's the American Aborigine. So it's either y'all gonna give us our respect, or we're gonna take our respect, because we are tired. We are tired of being bullied. We are tired. We're not gonna take it anymore. To even some of our people that look like us. Okay, we are not going to allow you guys to get in our way. This is our home. This is our land. And we demand respect in our home. Everybody else is coming to our land and get respect except the people who own the land. Where they do that at? We're not going to stand for that. Moving forward, I am asking all the American Aborigines to stand up. Let us get this petition out to each of those governments. Let them know that our people are not alone, and we are seeking and we demand answers. If we have to send letters and petitions to news stations, radio stations, then let's do that. We know that they are not alone. So I need to know how many of y'all are with me and my brother Darkman. You know, because our people need us. So we're about to end this call, but I'm gonna let my brother, give his last but not least, but talk a little bit to the people before we get out of here.
All right, so the the question was, could we unite? Could we unite with unity? No, can't unite with the pro-black community because there is no pro-black community. The pro-black community don't even unite. Is not even united with each other. And communities not even united with each other. Then you have to look at the origins of where these communities came from. Who invented these communities? Who dropped these communities within your community? And has there been any form of improvement within your community from their community has been within your community? You understand? Then you have to follow the history of the Trail of Tears that's linked to these communities when it comes to the genocide of our people and the tides. Then you have to look at the leaders that have been taken out throughout the years and which hand is responsible for that from within the community. It is those that look like us that comes from the pro-black community, the pan-African community, the Islamic community, and so on and so on and so on. By the nation. That's fact. Brother Martin was taken out by another brother, another pastor that he was set up by that pastor. You understand? So again, Garvey, Webb Du Bois, Noble Drew, the Morris Times Temple. I mean, I could go on, right? And I could keep going on. Could we, from us and some folks, have a common ground? We all could have a common ground, but are we going to sit in the same house together, lay in the same house together? No. You in my house when I'm laying down and sleeping at night because your own house can't trust your ass. So I ain't gonna trust you. And if the time comes, or when the time comes, and situations is going to get drastic or comes to get drastic, my eyes is also going to be on you too, and it's not going to be no mercy on your butt. Plain and simple. The next thing is this. Look at the so-called pro-black, pan-African, and Moorish community. How did they? You got to look at how they came about. You got to look into the etymology of some of these words as well. You understand their symbolic meaning. Like even with the word Pan, from the demon god that they call the demon god Pan, which is a goat-headed god, and that is linked to the Masonic Society. Where did this Pan-Africanism come from? It came from the Pan-European Alliance, and this was created in the 60s. Now, how did this term, this organization become so popular? They pushed Garvey. Have to do with a 1960 creation. Garvey's dead and gone long before this. Do you understand? It has nothing to do with the Pan-African community. They had to use Garvey because they have to use great, what they call leaders, to pull you into something to continue to take you away from your identity. Garvey also took you away from your identity, but esoterically showed you through symbolism and dress wear of who you really are. Really use words like African and so on and so because Garvey was a Mason. Society and what happens when you go against the oath that you have taken, that you took. Noble Drew was the same way. A lot of these Moors say Noble Drew said this, Noble Drew said that, but have you ever heard a recording of Noble Drew Ali? Stop listening to them. Then they tell you that you're a Moor. Then you look into the etymology of the word Moor, and it has nothing to do with nationality. You know what I'm saying? We know the folks who are misleading us. We know the folks who are keeping us lost within this rabbit hole. We know all these things, but yet still we go along with it because it goes against some of our pride. Our pride is hurt because, oh, how dare he prove my brother right here wrong? But your brother been misleading you this whole time, and your brother's not my brother's keeper because your brother's keeper cannot be my brother's keeper because your brother's going to try to set up my brother because your brother's a Fed. That's facts. And we shall leave it at that.
I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. So in closing, I just want to say that family, unity is the key, man. Unity. We all know that, the matrix is alive, and we're the only ones keeping the matrix alive. At the point of the fork in the road where you peel. One of them is the American, one of them you stay lost. Okay? But the American Aborigine, we home. This is our home. We ain't going nowhere. On no goats and no sheep. All right. So we've been here. So at the end of the day, we are going to continue to. People cannot call me black. I put them in their place. An American, I put them in their place. US citizen, I put them in their place. I was crowned on this land before was even a construct. My ancestors were already here. So I am the true heir to this land, the American Aborigines. So who is not for us is against us. But all those who are for each other, let me see some love right now on this channel. I want to see some likes. Okay? This is for the likes, so I want to see love. I don't do this for the likes. All those who are ready to stand up and defend these. We are out across the world. I want to see the love. Again, I'm putting the GoFundMe in the link and support it. As you could see, again, I came all the way here where my brother is at. Okay, so we could put in some work together. We are working behind the scenes. All right. Just so you know, we are putting in that work. This is what we have to do. The entire Caribbean. Okay, no matter where you're at, remember, you are the American Indians. Carib Indian, they just told you who you are. West Indian, they just told you who you are. South and Central America, we are one people that are here right now who think that they were here before us, but they are not. Guess what? They still are mixed with our people. So at some point, they're going to get it. They're going to join us because guess what? They are going through the same perils we are going through. Go onto a reservation. What will you see? You will see drugs, you will see alcohol, and you will see churches. Going to the hood, what will you see? Alcohol and churches. So what you make you think their reservation is different from yours? You are just Indians in the hood. Natives in reservations. Not realizing the roles are reversed. They put the American Aborigines in reservations, in projects, and in the hood, churches. And they put the natives on reservations and give them liquor, drugs, and churches. Family, it is time to wake up. So with that being said, we're about to end this video. Always tuning in, share the information. And once again, we always come with peace, love, harmony, and light. We're going to continue to work because we know our ancestors will bring the wrath. Our ancestors will bring that wrath to them. To them. On your knees and pray to deities that you're not sure you're praying to because they came before us. Even if you're going on your knees and praying to deities that you are sure, also reach out to your ancestors. Because like I said, I'm not going to turn this into not you serve. As long as it makes you a better people, then I'm for that. But also let us not forget our ancestors. You don't have to renounce anything because it is not, again, it's a voluntary system. I make my I state my claim. I am not a US citizen. They cannot force me to be that. And to say who you are, it is up to you. You did. So family, man, this was really, really uplifting. I just wanted to our brothers and sisters around to know that we stand with them in solidarity, that we love them, that we are asking our ancestors to guide and protect them. A table before them of our enemies. All right, family. Don't forget to check out the website. Don't forget to check out the website Okay, www.talk to an American people website. It's in the link below. Link below. Again, let us stop talking about supporting each other, but let us actually do it. All right, family, let us actually do it. So once again, we love you guys. In the hood, I like that. That's right.
Definitely love it.
You know, Indians in the hood. I like that. So we have a lot of things coming together, family, and stay tuned. Team is gonna be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. As a matter of fact, right now is such a beautiful time. American Aborigine. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a few things. Some people may not be able to donate monetarily, so we will let you know. Hey, guess what? If you could do things, help us with some Home Depot equipment, materials, all those different things, we will let you know because we are building, we are doing things, we are reaching out to our people who have land so we can get together. It's happening. It's a beautiful time to be an American Aborigine, to be an American Indian. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia, Aboriginal American, for the donation. That's what it's about. Time to literally bring the message to the people in truth. There are a lot of us out here that are doing this because we are righteous. Find those who are true and righteous and have that true love for our people. We should always support them. Always support them. Don't let them think that they're alone. And I appreciate the support. We appreciate the support. Okay. Check out the link below, family. Check out the website. On the website, the link is below. A lot of information in the law section, in the university. We have the blog. We have a lot of information. Also, check out the enrollment because together, remember, indigenous people have a nation. Let me ask you a question. What nation do you belong to? Let us do this. And if you feel like you want to be a part of what we are doing, we are family. Please enroll. Nation, let's do this because together there is power in numbers. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Brother Darkman, do you have any last things to say before we go?
All I got to say is just do your due diligence to do the research, to study our history. You know, teach your kids our history.
Children, not kids. Ghosts got kids.
Teach your children our history. You know, teach whom will listen. You understand? You're not going to be able to save everyone. You're not going to be able to convince everyone. You're not going to be able to get everyone to want to even look into what it is that you are speaking of. You know what I mean? It could even be your own family members. They're just going to have to feel the blunt of it when it comes down. And that is exactly what the predicament that a lot of us or some of us are in right now. Feeling bad about it.
All right.
Don't feel bad about it.
And also, what we're gonna do is indigenous levy, right? I know you got my email, and we also on WhatsApp. But reach out to me if you got land in St. Lucia. We got a link because we got to make some things happen. Also, what our nation is planning is this: we are planning, and I'm glad somebody mentioned it. What Chipapa I think just mentioned that we are working on that. In the name right. Watching Sapa Payo Minko. We are setting up. Our nation is setting up a big powwow. Okay, so send me an email. Go in the link below, brother. Go in the link below and send me your email and your number so we could work on that and set that up because we're gonna set up a big powwow for the American Aborigines. So that I'm glad you mentioned that. We have to let the people know that we are here. Set that up. Send me an email with your number and let me know you hit me up about the powwow.
So for those who are out there who are interested in having Brother Chief come out to do lectures in your state, in your city, in your town, email Brother Chief. All right. The information will be within the description box of this video as well. The more let you and get out there and do, it will be the more the message will be spread out there to our people as far as their ancestry and to who they are and what does that mean for us in today's society. All right.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, family. So let us get to work, man. Like I said, family, there's no need to be afraid, okay? There's no need to be afraid because we have already won. Right now, the universe is just waiting for us to step into our victory. We have already won. Coming to Philly, Carly, Crush. I'll be coming to Philly, I think, in June. Being set up right now in June for Philly. So I will keep you guys posted on that. But I've already won this victory. Right now, the universe, our ancestors, is just waiting for us to step into the victory. So there's no need to be afraid. Let me tell you something about the American Indian before we be enslaved. That's the blood that's running through us. That's why they had to dumb down our people mentally and spiritually. Well, right now I'm in Jersey, but I'm getting ready to leave here tomorrow. So I'm literally all over the going where the ancestors need me because the entire Americas is my home. So I am all over. You see what I'm saying? Yes, I'm going to be working on some headpieces website as well. So just so y'all know, a lot of great things are coming. So we are moving forward. Before we go, can we have everybody in the chat right now, or even after the video comes in the chat, put American Aborigine power. All right, American Aborigine power. That's what we got to scream. We got to put it out there. The power that we have, American Aborigine power, man. Let us scream that. Not just only indigenous, but the American Aborigine who is indigenous to the Americas, because indigenous could be a broad term. Aborigine power. Period. All right. So I don't want to leave you guys, but we're gonna go. And like I said, watching Sapa Minko, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Send me an email, brother or sister. I'm assuming it's a brother, and so we could set up this powwow. It's a guy. I appreciate that. Hey, I'm brother. So we could set up this powwow so we could get the American Aborigines together and do what we got to do to restore our land and reclaim what's rightfully ours. This is our birthright. Even in the Bible, it says, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Running their system through or with ecclesiastic laws. So that means they have to abide by their damn Bible or else. All right? Period. That's what we're going to do. So with that being said, let's go to the website. Let's help the nation grow. Let's make this happen. Let us all come together as one people, one voice. Let the world know we are here. We are standing up, and everybody who's in different parts of the country, every American Aborigine that's in different part of the world, and all the indigenous people that's in the world, it is time for us to unite. The universe is waiting for us. We have people destroying our home, Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is waiting for us to wake up, rise, and stand up and defend our home. Okay, it is time for the American Aborigine to stand up because the world is waiting for us. All right. So with that being said, also want to give a shout out and love to all Brother Kafira, Empress Ayana. I mean, it's just, Mama Red Running Wolf, American Dreamcatcher, Don Dogon, Brother Red Beer, the War Chief. I mean, it's just, man, we are just growing in number. We have Liana, we have I Am American Butterfly. We are just, I mean, we have New Tree. Man, our family is growing. Our family is growing, and we just, if I leave out anybody, is because I'm just so excited right now. I'm elated that the ancestors have given us the vision to create and form this nation of American Aborigines moving forward so we could make this thing happen. Again, we're gonna this message here in Chicago Beach encounter. Okay, all right, guys. Okay, that's what's up. I remember that. Peace and love, family. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Like, let's make this happen, man. Let's make this happen. Chief Holiday, man, brother, for always coming on and, showing support. Kali Crush, you already know how we do. Jazzy Jazz, much respect to the fullest. Shani, Hudson, modern maintenance, healing, Dane Data 33, Andre B. You know how we do. Nubian, Alet Night. Levy, you already know how love the radio show. Ali Miller, peace and love, JD Sparta, Disun B. Hey man, we here, man. We here. All right, so let's do this, family. Lene 5813, peace and love, Fidel, Indigenous Youth, St. Vincent in the building. We all my Vinci posse there. You know how we already do. They can't stop us, Dread. I'm telling you right now, it's fire born. You already know how we do. That's why they're trying to keep Haiti and Jamaica in the dark, because they know once Haiti and Jamaica wake up and they know that we are the true American Aborigines, it's a wrap. Vinci posse, all my Vinci massive. You know what I mean? They can't ramp with us, they can't test us. So we have to continue keeping it, letting them know we ain't playing. All right? Let us get back into the ways of our ancestors. That's what we do. Real talk. All right? American Aboriginal love, our people stand up. Love, man. We love you guys and we love this. This was a beautiful build. And let us continue to keep that energy rising, all right? Because we are gonna get these petitions together, those respective governments. All right, let them know that they have to respect our people. Uncommon Courtesy, Black Space, want to give you a shout out. Alicia, Aboriginal American, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, man, for real. Aunt America, my mother, that's my sentiments exactly. Same way, you feel me? So peace and love to all our cousins in Africa. I'm going through y'all own jump off right now, but y'all got to get y'all stuff together, because the American Aborigine, we getting us together right now. We got to do us. We got to make sure our home is right. Love to each and every one of y'all. Brother Darkman, shut it down. Let's get out of here.
All right. Let me just say one thing though, real quick. Something that the brother said. Haiti knows who they are. They know they are the Arawaks, right? It is Jamaica that still feels like they are Africans. It's still Jamaica that still has radio personalities as Mutabaruka and other certain personalities that separate the Tainos, who are really the Arawaks, the folks who they call Nubians on the island of Jamaica. So Jamaicans, for the most part, still think that they are Africans and don't know that they are the original Arawaks, or who they now call Tainos or Tianos, however you want to pronounce it. The Carib Indian. You are the American Indian, and you got to the island because you migrated through the Americas. See, Haiti, for the most part, they know that they are Arawaks, and Haiti, for the most part, are ready to gain back their independence and regain back their freedom. What we have is that of which we say coons, that's what we say, that are tearing the Haitian people apart, slowing up their progress. But with that being said, on the same page, we have to come together as one. We have to have trust, understanding, and belief within of whom of us who are American understand who we are. We have to come together and unite together to uproot the false teachings of folks who are going on around the world, teaching a massive deception and lies about who we are. We have to confront the Pan-Africans that are on our islands. A lot of these so-called radio personalities who we know are being very misleading. These things, and it has to come from within also the school system. You understand? We have to put ourselves in positions to where we can homeschool our children, and not just our children, even your neighbor's children, if your neighbor just so chooses or wishes for that to also happen. We need $1 million to open up a school. We just got to find a space and make it happen.
Yes, indeed. And we are going to make it happen. All right, for real. We are going to make it happen. And like I said, we'll continue to do these live feeds and continue to, again, rally up the people. You know what we're not going to do? We're not going to go in the streets and march. We're not going to do that. That ain't our style. Because when we step in the streets, we coming to let them know, hey, we're here. We're not stepping in the streets to match. And no, we're not doing that. We're not going down on our knees and bow to nobody. We ain't doing that. Fist in the air, we are putting our feathers in our hair. All right? I'm going to say that again. We are not putting our fist in the air. We are putting our feathers in our hair, because that's how our ancestors around the world. Anytime the world look at any in the United States going around murdering the Aborigines with feathers in their hair, trust me, it's going to be a problem, because the world know that they owe us for all the civilizations that we brought into that world. The world is watching, and they know the American Aborigines are waking up, and they are excited. Ancestors are waking up. We are here. One love. Once again, continue to support. All right? Continue to show your love, because what we do because we love you. All right? So with that being said, you guys have a good night. We'll talk to you guys soon. All right? Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace. Peace.
All right. One. And continue to ask our ancestors to keep us safe and guide us. All right? Once again, just to let everybody know, I am not black. I'm not African American. I am not a sovereign citizen. I'm not part of a sovereign group. I am not a Moor. I am not a Moorish American. I'm none of that. Anybody who wants to be that, that's on them. I'm not a U.S. citizen, okay? I am an autochthon American Aborigine, Indian, and this is my home. This is my land, and I am standing up to defend my home. Every man and woman have a right to defend their home. Okay? That is just universal law. So I'm not doing anything illegal or unlawful. I am conversing with my brothers and sisters, and that's what we are doing. So once again, love you guys. Look below, check out the website. And once again, thank you for your support. Peace and love.
Peace.